Rugby started off for me as a very early age, not far off what we're looking at now on a pitch at a really friendly local rugby club. I was always playing in the garden with my dad, who played, my grandparents, who both played, my sister, who did try and play, and my mother, who also played as well. Went through the school route, played a bit there, really enjoyed that with my peers. Got to about 13 or 14 and started to realise that it was perhaps something that could be done as a job. A lot of hard work went into it, and about 15 or 16 got an opportunity with the then Leeds academy coach, Stuart Lancaster, who known to most now as the head of England coach. At the club, I'm now known as Mr. Canterbury. Definitely, I'd have to say the cotton tracksuit bottoms would be my favourite piece of kit. I like to do a lot of early morning running. Being a father of two, it's probably the best time of day for me. When I was doing sevens, it'd be a lot of sole miles on the road. Now, much more focus on strength and weights, and doing a lot more in the gym. General sevens week, you clock anything from around about 7 kilometres per session, often twice a day for 3 or 4 days a week, to a 15 session where you're hitting maybe 1 or 2 kilometres. Sevens players don't generally get as big as 15s players, so you've got to understand that these big men aren't probably able to run that far. But if they're running in one very straight line at you, it have the devastating effect. The role model in me must suggest that I eat nothing other than protein and carbohydrates in equal measure. However, it's fair to say that if you do eat well and you do train hard, you're allowed the odd treat. So the odd cup of coffee I might maybe associate with a muffin, but we'll have to see how the training's gone. The main thing about supplements, it is exactly that. It's on top of your normal diet. It's often easier to have a bar or a shake. It's done quite a lot after training when you're in a change room and not a kitchen. As a father of two, it tends to be at home when I'm making food for others rather than myself. Definitely got a few facts about teammates, but it's worth saying that it's all allegedly. Dan Norton, England Sevens wing, has lived on a breakfast of 5 eggs, an omelette and Weetabix in one bowl for the last 3 years. Tom Powell, also England Sevens player, was in fact the first person to high five in Yorkshire. Unfortunately, not many people could reach him being up there. Tom Mitchell, ladies' favourite, the most photographed bum in English rugby as of last year. Toughest teammates, quite an interesting one. Sam Edgley, whilst he is without doubt one of the hardest working teammates I've ever had, he is most definitely not tough. The toughest teammate that I've ever played with probably have to be Luke Fielden. Up at time at Newcastle, he is now a purple belt jiu-jitsu. He regularly chokes out anyone that does question him. The people that tend to inspire me when I was younger tended to always feature around rugby players. The likes of Josh Cromfeld, Neil Back at the time, those type of players really inspired me because quite often they were written off for not being big enough, which was the situation I was in at the time. You've got to realise what you're doing, and for me a lot of it is about perspective and to know that you have a lot of friends and family and support there. I think that I've got a family back home that keep me going. That's pretty inspiring in itself.